Gail here, looking a bit rough, but what can you do? Anyway, it's I'm going to start off by telling you that I have been sewing together my Drunkards Paths. So I cut them all down to 4.5 inches, and then I sewed them in groups of 4. The pattern I wanted to do just didn't work out with, you know, my colourways. So I've gone with the circles. I think they look really pretty. Anyway, when I was doing these, I decided, well, I think you can probably see on these, yes, you can see, I wasn't matching my circles. And I decided I quite liked that, being a bit quirky. So I decided not to cut down them to 4.5 and just sew them together as they are. I think they're 5 inches. My chair, I had a terrible last week. I was in here tidying up. It's looking tidy, it is, but nobody else would think it would be tidy. Anyway, I was doing some tidying up, and I fell off my chair. Yeah, I dropped something on the floor and I bent down to get it, and the further down I bent, more precarious. I became more precarious on my chair that has wheels on it. Anyway, it whizzed off. It whizzed off behind me. And I ended up on the floor. Luckily, I always have my phone to hand. I had to phone my husband to come and help me get up because I couldn't get up. My knees were in positions that, you know, they're never usually in. Anyway, eventually we worked out a way to get me up because he's got a hernia, you know. He can't really lift as much as he would like to, or as much as he used to. Yeah, so I got up and I had sore bits and pieces. I had one sore toe. This finger was sore. My knees, I've been sticking all the arnica on ever since. Yeah, so I had an accident. Anyway, that's beside the point. Don't know why I'm telling you that. So I decided the rest of my squares, these that I've got 256 of, it was taking too long to cut all those little things down to 4.5. So I decided just to sew them together. So some are cut down and some aren't. And it doesn't really make a lot of difference to the joins of the circles. But I like it like that, I decided. I wasn't going to have any bother, any flaking out over it. You know, I mean, my middles don't match all the time. But I don't care. You know, it's not going on show. It's for my bed. And I think they look quite nice. I like the fabrics. And I'm thinking of, you know, cutting out some circles from my leftover fabrics and piecing them on these corners so that it's all circles instead of circles and straights. So I'm about halfway through doing those. I've just ironed them. They're not all flat either. Anyway, that's what I've been doing this week. And I have got the advent calendar half done. I have sewn on all the pockets and I have laid it up ready for quilting. I've just put this bit of blue on the back. I thought it's blue on the front, I'll put blue on the back. I'm not going to put anything fancy on when it'll be against the wall. So that's getting done. I have done my quilting on, oh, that's the old, I'll just get things out of my bag as they're in my bag and show them as and when they come out. So this here, this is part of my 5 yards of material that took 6 or 7 weeks to come. It did come. It's by, because the man who sold it me had no idea, Timeless Treasures. And I've got a yard of that, or a metre, whatever, I don't know. Not that I care, don't care one way or the other. I don't know where the other ones that came with it are somewhere in the bag. That's my blue fabric, because I put everything in my bag to bring to the shed and it's not all in order. So I have bought some more Christmas fabrics because more gives you a better choice, doesn't it? So I bought this. That's nice, isn't it? This is for the Christmas quilts I'm making for 2 of my grandchildren. I got plain green and plain red, and a red one of the Father Christmases. And here we have my block of the month quilt that I did in lockdown. I just did all the applique and the piecing, and now I'm doing the quilting. So that's one that's done. Now I know you couldn't see any stitching on the other one. Can you see it on that one? I won't know till afterwards. And there's my pieced back. So, and I've done this one. Now this one has still got the blue ink on it because I did it all straight lines because it's a pieced block. And I didn't like it all straight lines. So can you see I've drawn in blue like swirls? Can you see on there? Like swirly bits and leaves. I might undo it yet. I'm not decided if I like that. But we'll see. I'm getting going through that anyway. And then we have some more Christmas fabrics. That's a nice one, isn't it? That's you know, for the Christmas quilts. And I thought this one was lovely. Lovely. Got half a metre, half a yard of that one. Mixed up Jolly Santas and snowmen and bears, penguins. Lovely. Now here comes the rest of my 5 yards of fabric I bought. So the other one was this pink one, and I got one in blue, and I got one in these yellows and oranges, and I got these peacock things from the same man, green peacocky feathers. You see how they're folded up? It's not a proper patchwork, man. It's really creased, but they were very cheap. And this peacocky, I thought they were lovely. I risked it a bit getting it from an unknown source. Stay up, but you know, it came out all right. This is another truck type of vehicle fabric that I'm saving up for my youngest grandson. Now today this lot came. I got something, oh, here we are, 12 meters of this. I thought I could sew that on to trim the Christmas quilts. And I got 16 meters of this, just in case I want to attach some gold. I bought a crochet pattern for a Jack Russell dog because my daughter has got a Jack Russell dog, so I thought I would make one for her little boy. That's the pattern on the back by Toft. I have an awful lot of Toft patterns, some Toft kits, and I don't think I've ever crocheted a single one. Right, so I got these 3 materials, these 2 materials, no, it was 3, from an end of roll sale that came with a piece of ribbon, and this is glittery, and that is Father Christmas or Gnome and Snowmen, and so is that one, and some red ribbon. So that's for my Christmas quilts, and there's no stopping me. And I got a big piece and a smaller piece of these from the same place with a piece of teal ribbon, and I also ordered on top of that some red sparkle to go with it. So I don't think I'm going to buy any more. I've got some more, to show you, Christmas things, but I don't think I'm going to buy any more. Oh, there's just no stopping me, is there? Anyway, this came from my D-Stash group. This is Esprit de Noël French General by Moda. I love Moda. I love French General. I've got hundreds of them. So these are all the kind of designs. See if I can move that a bit. Is that better? Esprit de Noël. So maybe this is what they had for Christmas dresses and things. I don't know. Wallpaper in the long ago times. But that's going to make a lovely quilt at some point in the future. Oh, lovely, isn't it? So I got that from my D-stash. And here we have some more things I've bought. Right. This is from my D-stash. This is, I think it's 80 different squares of white 5-inch squares that somebody's cut out of their leftovers. Netty. Can you see? It's a self-pattern pattern. Yes, so that'll save me cutting 5-inch squares out. And this, I bought this because I just thought it was glorious. For me, really. I don't know if I'm going to use it on the children's quilts. Isn't that lovely? It's a fancy man. A fancy Father Christmas man. So I bought 2 lots of this. Exactly the same. I thought that was lovely. So I bought 2. There's the other one. I bought some squares. So there's one. To, you know, put around. I mean, I've got the things for the back, for the front. These are for the back, really. There's a snowman feeding the birds. And here's another snowman feeding the birds. Joyful. It is joyful when birds come for a feed. And this with all the little squares that I like to cut out and put in places. Is that all of them? I've got twice that length. And then this one I just got because I thought it was lovely. For the quilts, of course, but because I like them, not because the children-ified. Aren't they lovely? Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 it says. There's a poor fella there with no nose, isn't there? Look at that. Or maybe he's got no mouth. Anyway, I thought that was lovely, so I bought that as well. What else have I got down here? Oh, I bought this. Now, I've told you before, haven't I, about my love of giraffes and how they disappointed me when they didn't love me. Well, I bought 2 canvas panels. And there's the other one on the back. I'm going to make myself a bag for taking to the shops. He's lovely, isn't he? They were £1.50 each. I mean, you know, what's that, £3 and some sewing thread. Maybe I might even line it. Never made a bag before. So we'll have to see how that goes. What else have I got in there? Nothing. Oh, what's that? It's just a piece of cream. I don't know why I bought that. Well, it always comes in handy. And I thought I brought my latest pattern, but it doesn't seem to be here. I got a big triangle, which, you know, top and bottom makes a big diamond shape. I'm thinking of doing my Tilda peacocks in a diamond, aren't I? Now, I have got a lovely new pattern, but I seem to have lost it. I thought I brought it in, but it doesn't look like it's here. So, obviously I didn't. Okay, I shall try to concentrate on you now. And anyway, I bought a pattern because I thought it was lovely, and I wanted to do it with all my jelly rolls of blue batik fabrics. Anyway, I've read the pattern requirements and I don't think that's going to work. So I'm going to use a layer cake to make it, but I don't know which layer cake I'm going to use yet. I've got so many to choose from. I have got so many. Oh, something else I found when I was tidying up. I thought, oh, be honest, Gail. I found some more Tilda. I got 5-inch charms, Bon Voyage collection. That's quite old. I got, I found these. Lovely. And I found a whole fat quarter stack of the ones with the peacocks on. I've already got 2 lots of that. Now I've got 3 lots. It will be a big cover, won't it, for the bed? And we've put another cover on the bed, being as it's winter now. and we're having to wear cardigans and jumpers, although not in here at the moment. It's 21.6, so I've took my cardigan off. But yeah, it's getting very chilly. It starts to get cold or colder at about 4 o'clock, and by 6 we put the gas fire on, and then we turn it off at 9. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, because we're trying to limit the fuel we use, although we're well in advance with our payments. But that doesn't mean you have to be frivolous, does it? We don't want the heating on when we go out or when we're not cold. But yeah, we turn it off. We turned it off before 9 o'clock the other day because we thought, oh, we don't need it. We're warm enough. Oh, it didn't get chilly quick. I think it's best to turn it off before you go to bed. And tonight we're going to have fun and games in the bedroom, I think. Because today we've been to, well, last week we went to the hospital to see a specialist with my husband's brain problems. Well, he's had 2 strokes and he's had 2 lots of cerebral vasculitis, and they sent us to see a special man who specialises in, well, he was a doctor consultant, narrow veins. They've told him he's got narrow veins in his brain, so we went to talk to him, and apparently he has it's very common to have strokes when you've got narrow veins if your blood isn't nice and healthy. Of course, he's got diabetes. It was very, very high when he was diagnosed, so that was like jam going through. His blood pressure also puts pressure on these veins in his brains, and I can't remember, something else. His weight. So we're on a diet, as you know. It's going more successful for him than me. He keeps saying, no, I won't have any, and I just can't resist. We're having healthy food. It's, in between times, like when I start eating the children's chocolate or some ice cream. Although the ice creams are cornets, because then I can measure the calories, so I don't get any tubs anymore. Anyway, yeah, he was talking to us about these narrow veins, and he thinks he didn't have cerebral vasculitis. He thinks it was to do with the narrow veins causing blockages. So he needn't have had all that chemo or all the steroids that, although I don't know, maybe steroids are a good treatment for narrow veins, I don't know. But it was the amount of steroids he had that gave him necrosis of the hip, and he had to have his hip replaced. And that got infected. You see, it's just a whole load of problems. Anyway, we went today to see, they've referred him for sleep apnea tests. Now, he's had one of those before, about 15 years ago. You know, where you stop breathing in your sleep. And he had to do it in hospital, and he never went to sleep. He stayed awake the whole time. So that came to nothing. And with dealing with the after effects of that cerebral vasculitis down at that time, and he's having his hip replacement and everything else that was going on, we never chased it up. Anyway, it's a factor for strokes, apparently, sleep apnea. So he said, right, I'm going to refer you for sleep apnea tests that you do at home. And we said, okay. He said, but unfortunately, because I've told you we're doing this, you're not allowed to drive now. So, of course, my husband was in the depths of depression because he thought he was allowed to drive. He'd been driving around for about 3 weeks, and now he's not allowed to drive again. So we drove home, and he's not driven since, apart from on and off the path to the in front of the house and stuff. So anyway, they said, we'll refer you. It'll probably take about 3 months. So that was dismal, the thought of not seeing our daughter until Christmas, because we can't get down there. Her husband is away at the moment, and she doesn't like to come on the motorway with 2 dogs and a baby on her own. Anyway, so we got a cancelled appointment today, and so we went quick. Might get sorted beforehand. And so tonight, when he goes to bed, he's got to have a thing on his finger with wires leading to a watch that he has to strap to his wrist, with wires that lead to a monitor thing that he has to stick here. I don't know if he's sticky. I didn't go with him. I had a coffee, because it said they didn't want people to go with people because of the risk of infection. A lot of people have COVID here in England, which of course isn't killing us, but they don't want everybody off ill, do they? I suppose especially at hospital appointments where the people that are going aren't too healthy. Perhaps. Anyway, so I went in the cafe and had a coffee with my friend who took us, being as we can't drive. And it is quite far away, would cost a fortune in taxi fares. And he's got to take it back tomorrow. And my brother-in-law is taking us to take it back, which is just a flying visit. So yes, he's got to do that tonight. He's got to go to sleep with all these wires and things attached to him. And he did that about a month ago with his heart monitor. And the first night he had hardly any sleep because he kept thinking, oh, what's on me? And the next night he was fine. I think that was 5 days he had that on. So he was used to it by the end. He quite missed it actually. At the end he kept, you know, when he'd taken it back, he kept thinking, oh, where is it? So I don't know how it's going to go on tonight. I hope it doesn't make any noises. Mind you, you know, I can put up with it, I'm sure, because he snores all the time. Once I went to hospital many years ago, and I was the only person on the ward who went to sleep because of this woman snoring. She was snoring, and it just sent me to sleep because I was used to it. So there was 2 of us, the snorer and me, and everybody else just spent all night moaning and all morning moaning. They're lucky, aren't they, that, you know, they don't have to get used to it. Anyway, so now I've got to quilt the advent calendar, and I've got to decide what I'm going to do with the quilts, and whose is going to be whose. With my daughters at Christmas, when I used to buy them a lot of presents from being, I don't know, 13, teenagers. I used to buy them presents that were the same, and sometimes different colours. Now, of course, I have favourite colours, and I didn't want to give my favourite colour to a particular daughter, because then everyone would think, ooh, she's given her favourite colour to her. So I used to wrap them up and then juggle them so that I didn't know what present was what colour was in what, and then I would put the tags on, and they'd open them up and swap anyway. So anyway, I've got to decide what I'm going to put on these quilts. I've got plenty to choose from, so you know, that's good. And I'm busy looking on websites, trying to decide what to buy for my grandchildren's birthdays. Now, as you know, Bethany's has already gone. I bought her some clothes as well, some leggings and some tops for the winter. And it's my youngest grandson's first in November. And my daughter has asked me to get him some farm animals. But there's so many choices. I said to her, do you want him to have, like, you know, rounded plastic play with youngsters animals, or realistic animals? She says realistic ones. So I thought, okay. So, and I found a lovely little barn. Shall I buy him this? Yes, if you want, she says. So that was on eBay, and it disappeared. And I can't find anything that's small enough, because she doesn't want it to be too big, for a reasonable price that will also let me buy animals. So I'm just spending all my time looking, and I have the choice of buying a few good quality animals, or here comes my cup of coffee. Oh, and my favourite mug as well. Thank you. Okay, thank you. This is my 4 o'clock coffee, but I wasn't in the mood at 4 o'clock. We have coffees at 4. Oh, I had a coffee this morning in the cafe. I'm going to be awake all night, aren't I, watching him asleep with all these things, all these wires. Yeah, because it's 10 past 5. Anyway, I have a choice on all these websites. I can get realistic animals, but not very many of them, like 1 of each. So there's like 12 in the packet, all the farm animals. Or I can get a pack of like 6 cows and 5 sheep and a donkey. I suppose if you want to play at being a farmer, like a milkman type farmer that has lots of cows, I don't know if that's what I should be getting. And then I have, you know, like the plastic jars that come with 70 animals in. But the thing about them is that the ducks and the chickens are the same size as the cows. See the choices? Does that matter? should they be the right size? If they have to be the right size, then I want one of each. I'll have to get the one of each packet. But that's a bit lonely, isn't it? I mean, he's got a play rug with, you know, farmers' fields on it and country lanes. And he's going to have one chicken and one cow. So I think I might buy 2 of the one of each packs. At least their chickens are smaller than the cows anyway. I love stirring coffee. I like the sound it makes. Someone I used to work with has said that I like the sound because I never had time to hear it before. Do you want to see my favourite mug? Can you see that? Is that an owl? And a Pegasus or a deer with wings? I know you've got the reflection from the light, but you know, there you go. You should see how awful I look without that light because it's a bit orangey. It gives me a bit of colour. Although I did put my makeup on this morning and I've blown my nose a few times. Anyway, yeah, that's where we're up to, I think. So yes, don't go off into a dream, Gail. We are doing the advent calendar and then I'm doing my quilts, and in the meantime I might be doing this. You see, the advent calendar is quilting now, and I might get fed up with quilting, in which case I'll do some hand sewing, which is that. I've got to cut those down. Not that I want to get it done for Christmas or anything. And then on the advent calendar, of course, I'm going to be doing big stitch quilting, so I could do some more of my Liberty Block of the Month quilting, which is small stitch quilting. I've just got a lot of things on the go, haven't I? I've still got that blue cardigan to finish, and my blanket that with shapes like that, tessellating overly things. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. Are you all thinking about Christmas? We're buying new fence panels this week as well, and he's propped all the sides of the shed up. We're expecting a big storm today, which will, you know, just blow the whole of England. It's starting this afternoon and going up the country, and up in Scotland tomorrow that we're expecting them to get 200 millimeters of rain, and that's 20 centimeters, which is 8 inches. 8 inches of rain just in storms one day. That's a lot of rain. We don't usually get that. I hope we don't flood again. Ugh, I'm fed up with flooding. I've only had 3 floods, but you know, it's worrying when, you know, it all comes rushing in the garden towards my shed. Most things are in plastic containers that are low down, but not everything. Anyway, we'll have to see. So that's why it's a bit windy out there. It's we're expecting a storm. Is it Storm Bella? It begins with a B anyway. My friend that gave us a lift this morning, she told me what it was called, but I can't remember. Was it Belladonna? Maybe? I don't know. Isn't that a poisonous plant? I found all sorts of things when I was tidying up, you know. I wasn't going to show you these, but I'll show you. I found these panels. I'm thinking, oh, I could sew them together, you know, for Christmas. Let's see, they're not Christmas panels. Look, here's a big panel to make a rabbit with a dress. So you make the rabbit body and then you make the dress to go on it. I bought these when my girls were little. Never made them. And I think this is for cats. Where's the picture? They're for cat people or cat toys or something. I saw the picture when I was looking at it. Just a moment while I find it. It's a very big panel. Soft cat toys. Here we are. Something's falling there. I can hear it. Where are we? There we are. Can you see those? I could make those if I've got time after I've done all the quilt making and everything. And oh, that's some lining material. And then this one, this is cat as well. You would think, oh, there you are, some cats there. I used to buy a lot of panels. You know, have you, I can't remember what the doll's called. Have I got any here? Not handy. Anyway, I bought a doll from America. She's 18 inches. I can't remember. Oh, my mind's terrible. Anyway, I bought a lot of panels that made her dresses. I think I've made one. She's got like 2 dresses. One she came with and one I've made. Because, you know, I'm renowned for buying things and not getting around to doing them. Although, you know, I am trying. Can't do everything, can you? I mean, you know, I've been doing a lot of hospital trips lately. I've been and had some procedures done and the results have come back all benign. So now I've got to go and have some more procedures done. I think my appointment for the next one is on the 28th, which is a week on Saturday. So we'll see how I recover from that. You know, the last one I got an infection and I had to take antibiotics. And the doctor's saying to me, can you take this antibiotic and can you I says, I don't know, I only know what I can't take. I can't memorise all the other ones, can I? So she's given me more of what the hospital gave me. You know, when I was at the hospital and they thought she must have an infection, which all my blood tests indicate I've got an infection, but they just can't find it. And the doctors in charge in the A&E department gave me a prescription for antibiotics that I wasn't allergic to, and I went along to pharmacy to get the prescription, and they said, who gave you these? Why is she giving you these? I said, I don't know. So they said, right, we'll get back onto them. So I had to wait half an hour for them to discuss with the doctor why she'd prescribed them and why they didn't think they were the right ones. And eventually pharmacy gave me some antibiotics, which I took, and I was fine really, apart from feeling a bit off. You know, they make you feel a bit sick. Anyway, turns out I had a UTI last week after one of my procedures, so the doctor gave me the same antibiotic that the hospital gave me. That's a bit of a cop-out, isn't it? She knew I wasn't allergic to it. I mean, aren't doctors supposed to know, you know, the difference between one antibiotic and another? I'm not even going to look. I'm not going to look at what I can take. It's, you know, it's a strain on my brain and my memory now, remembering what I can't take. I've got it written down on my phone. It's in my notes section just in case I forget. But I might forget, you know, what, where it is. I've got my grandchildren's names there as well, just in case I get mixed up. I do get mixed up all the time. Well, there you go, you know, I'm getting on. And apart from all that, I'm sorted. I'm quite excited about Christmas this year. Last year, I really didn't look forward to it because, you know, I don't actually get to see my daughters on Christmas Day unless they phone me up on camera. And it was a bit miserable because I was miserable. But I'm quite looking forward to it this year. I've decided I'm going to buy myself some Christmas plates, just 2. One for him, one for me, and some Christmas glasses. Not for your face, you know, to drink out of. I might have a glass of Irish cream, Bailey's Irish cream, or maybe even a glass of wine. Although I don't know if I'm going to my sister's after. If I'm going to my sister's after, then we can't drink. Well, I can drink wine, but he can't because he'll have to drive. Because I can't afford a taxi on Christmas Day. And I've bought myself a jigsaw. I've decided I'm going to do a jigsaw on Christmas Day. Instead of arguing with him about what to watch on the TV and it all being boring. I've bought some books as well that I've wanted for a long time from my D-Stash group, and he's looking after them so that I can read them on Christmas Day as well. And they've got projects in them as well, material and thing. I don't know what to make. I've never seen the inside because they're so out of print. By Kath Kidson they are, so you may very well know about them. Anyway, he's got them to look after them for me. And I might, before Christmas, turn up a dress so that I can wear a dress I've not worn yet, because I've not turned it up. I'm all prepared. I've got my, oh no, I've chosen some crackers. You see, he doesn't like to play games. I like to play games. I used to always play games with my daughters after our Christmas meal. Of course, can't now because they've got children to look after, and it's just me and him. So I bought crackers. I always buy crackers with something in. Well, for years I made my own crackers and filled them with Christmas balls of chocolate, so that when you pulled them, oh, you got sprayed with chocolate balls. It was really good. Anyway, the crackers I've chosen. Inside there's a wooden sleigh, you know, a nice Father Christmas sleigh, and it's got all presents and parcels, and you have to balance them. I mean, I can play with that by myself, can't I? And then go off and do my jigsaw again. So I'm trying to find something big enough to do the jigsaw on. It's 20 by 30 inches. Probably take me a month. You know, it's not like I'm a jigsawaholic. But I'm getting things ready for Christmas, you know. Planning the day instead of just being miserable. Oh, it's going to be miserable. I don't feel like that this year, luckily. Anyway, I'm going to get off. I'm going to take the rest of my squares into the house. They're gone wrong squares, they can go over there. See, that's a cut down square, and that isn't. You see the difference if I put it that way. You can't really see the difference, can you, because they're the same colour. Let's try a different colour. There we are. And when some are cut down and some aren't, I'm quite enjoying doing all this, putting them together. These squares across the middle, I mean, you can't tell on here, or this one, but I do try to, you know, do opposite. I'm showing you all these. None of them. Ah, here we are. There. They're opposites. And that blue is opposite in this blue, you see. This is weird because, you know, I thought they were all opposites, but they're not either. Neither is that one. Oh, here's another one. There, they're opposites. Green, green, red, red. And here's one. Blue, blue. Beige. And here's another one where that's red, but this is red. Although that isn't anything. Anyway, I'm enjoying doing those. They're not all flat. So, it's with sewing curves, I suppose. They'll be alright once they're quilted. Anyway, I shall be off. I hope this leaves you well, and I'll chat to you again in a few weeks. Bye!